office as yet. As everyone in this chamber knows, politics takes an immense toll on our families. Christy, Nia and Evan, thank you for supporting my crazy foray into politics and being there through all the ups and downs. To the former member for Liverpool, Paul Lynch, from your initial chat when I first joined the party, to your support in the pre-selection, and to our more recent chats to help me find my feet in this place, thank you for your instrumental support. Paul's impact on our area is such that I like to tell people that he needed 2 members of Parliament to replace him, myself and the new member for Liverpool. So too Anne Stanley, the federal member for Werriwa, especially for the opportunity to serve as your Chief of Staff for 4 years, including 2 during the height of the COVID pandemic. Thank you, Wendy Waller, who as Mayor in my first term of Liverpool Council was an ever-reliable source of advice, support and mentorship. Thanks to my fellow Labor colleagues from Liverpool Council, Ali Carnib, Jeff Shelton, Betty Green, and of course, one half of the terrible 2, Charisma Calianda. Charisma and I were elected at the same time to Liverpool Council and now State Parliament. Elected office is a unique and, let's be honest, very odd experience. It makes that wild ride that much easier when there's someone on that learning curve that shares many of the same values, experiences and aspirations for the community that you do. Thank you to the rank and file branch members of the Australian Labor Party who supported me on my journey. A special mention goes to Slobodan Lazovic, who was the first person to get in my ear about a potential run for council. A huge thanks to the Campaign Leppington team, girl boss Shannon Potter, Liam Thorne, who were ably assisted by my wife Christy and Rayan Kalimlim. You should all be immensely proud of what we achieved over the last 6 months or so. Thank you to James Culler and the team at head office for all your support. To Mark Buttigieg, to whom I award the title MVP Duty MLC. You put in countless hours on the campaign trail, both behind the scenes and on the doors to help me get elected. A huge thank you. The same goes for his colleagues from the other place, Cameron Murphy and Anthony D'Adam. To, where'd she go? Linda Volz, the member for Auburn. Thank you for your assistance in accompanying me along the many streets of Leppington and the sometimes dark and opaque alleyways of the New South Wales ALP. My neighbouring MPs, Greg Warren in Campbelltown and Lake Chanthavong in Macquarie Fields, and federal member for Macarthur, Dr Mike Freelander, thank you for the support you provided and sent my way. Thank you Chris Minns, Prue Carr and the entire front bench team for the many visits to Leppington and your constant support. I'm also forever grateful to the army of volunteers whose names may not be as recognisable, but no less gave up their time to stand on train stations, shopping centres, knock on doors, make phone calls and help out on election day. Among them, Mohan, Priscilla, Syed, Chai, Nick, Sharon, Sandy, Lachlan, Matt, Vinod, Addison, Chris, Alia, Caro, Deb, Joel, Shafiq, Jayesh, Kian, Jobbo, Laith and Jimmy. Thank you to Dr Ahmed Matasha, Dr Ali Safraz and Hani Gayed for your wise counsel and many important introductions. To that formidable army in red t-shirts and flannelettes, Young Labor Left, thank you. Can I also thank the union movement for their incredible support. In particular, the CFMEU, Unions New South Wales and the Essential Workers Deserve Better campaign team, and a special shout out to the Fire Brigade Employees Union and New South Wales Nurses and Midwives Association, whose members gave up their precious time to speak with voters in Leppington and tell their personal stories of what it meant to be an essential worker under the previous government. You stood up, you made your voices heard, and you made a difference. Last but not least, thank you, Leppington. The people, businesses, associations and organisations, the sporting clubs, the churches, mosques, temples and gurdwaras. You have entrusted me with an immense privilege to work with you as your representative and advocate as we build the amazing community of Leppington together. Deputy Speaker, when this House first met on the 22nd of May 1856, it was said to mark the beginning of representative democracy. In New South Wales, it was, however, far from a truly representative body. Can I request an extension now?
The member requests an extension of time. Is time granted?
Yes.
Member.
Thanks. Only men over 21 who met a property or income qualification could vote. To stand for election, you first had to qualify as a voter, but public servants, active military officers and ministers of religion were among those excluded. The American judge William H. Hastie is quoted as saying, "Democracy is a process, not a static condition. It is becoming rather than being." In the spirit of that quote, this state and this parliament, both the eldest in the country, have made huge strides in becoming more genuinely democratic, meritocratic and representative. There is still more work to do to make sure that our parliaments, our boardrooms and our corridors of power look, sound and think like my family, my neighbours and my mates. However, the fact a working class kid with a story like mine can stand here today shows we are making progress. And it's not by accident. I'm standing here today as an example of what effective public policy can do. For many, however, especially in my part of the world, that opportunity has slipped further and further out of reach. After decades of policies that put profit over people, individualism over community, and a decade or so of both Conservative federal and state governments, we're working harder and longer, but we're falling further behind. Corporations are reaping record profits, but the wealth hasn't trickled down to the people of Leppington. I want to do my bit while in this place to even that ledger and to ensure that good government and access to opportunity are not just restored, but considerably furthered for the people of Leppington and all of New South Wales. Thank you.